Women are keeping other women single. Honestly, I believe this one wholeheartedly because single women are always trying to get women in relationships to do things that are bad for their relationship. Like, oh my God, your boyfriend's so controlling because he's not going to let you go on the yacht with Chris Brown and the King of Dubai. Yeah, because you're going to come back with a black eye and poop stains on your back. What are we talking about here? I digress. Let's get into the video and let's see why women are keeping other women single.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Courtney Ryan, and today we're going to be reacting to a TikTok. So we're going to watch it together, reconvene, and I will tell you what I think. Let's get into it. So before we watch together, the text on the screen says, social media wants you to leave your man. Interesting. Let's see what she says.
Is it just me, or does it feel like social media wants everybody's marriages to fail? Feels like there is so much encouragement to get divorced, especially for women. I've seen some of these mom Facebook groups and like Reddit threads and stuff. I saw a post today and it was from a mom who was talking about how she's really upset because her husband took her kids to McDonald's. And she was mad because she said he knows that I don't approve of that kind of food. It's unhealthy junk food, and now he's out there taking them. And like, how do I navigate this? You know, what should I say? What should I do?
They said, leave that. What you talking about? Oh my God, he took your kids to McDonald's. He's a terrible human being. He gaslit you and took him into McDonald's and gaslit you again. That's what they gonna say. Oh my God, he's the worst type of human being. Ew. You know what I'm saying?
And the comments were insane, you guys. One lady was like, he clearly doesn't respect you as a mother. Someone else said, this is a huge red flag. If he's willing to do this and feed them junk food, imagine what else he's willing to do. Like, who is this guy? And of course, the terms toxic and narcissist get thrown around. And I'm just like, what? It happens all the time where women will post about their relationships, and so many other women, I don't know if they're single or if they've been divorced or something, but they're very excited to encourage the woman to leave.
This is one thing. Never take advice from somebody that's not in the position you want to be in. You know what I'm saying? So if you taking advice from a divorced woman, what are we doing here? How are you going to take advice from someone that isn't in the position that you want to be in? If you taking advice from a married woman, you know, another married woman, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? But I doubt any married woman, when her husband took her kids or their kids to McDonald's and she doesn't like McDonald's, I doubt she would be like, oh my God, she's a narcissist and he's toxic. No, my little dude wanted to try a fucking Big Mac for the first time. Fuck is you talking about? You don't let these niggas do shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas just want some french fries. Fuck is you talking about? An apple pie. You know what I'm saying? Or strawberry cream pie. Niggas is living in fucking like they in the fucking army. You know what I'm saying? You got them in the crib, you don't got no snacks. Yeah, I'm gonna let my niggas go to the fucking McDonald's one time. What are we doing here?
Usually the kind of stuff they're complaining about, it's never, you know, the extreme cases of why you think someone should leave. It's more just like, I don't know, like, he's a great guy, but something's missing. And people will be like, girl, you can leave. Slay queen, go have like your single era, go find someone better, go find someone who will treat you better. Usually the grass really isn't greener over there. But yeah.
The grass is almost never greener on the other side. I can guarantee you that, brother. You know what I'm saying? Because if your grass was green at some point, green enough for you to have it, all you got to do is water that bitch. The grass is greener on the other side because the bitch is getting watered. Water your grass, nigga. Cut your grass, nigga. Take care of your lawn. Fuck is you talking about?
Yet as women, we keep encouraging each other like that. And that is just awful advice. That is awful advice to give anybody. So if you are a woman, be especially careful of the things you're consuming online, because they'll get in your head and they'll start to make you see problems in your relationship that aren't really there. The stuff you read can turn your husband into a toxic narcissist, no good guy, when that is probably not the case at all. And then you become the toxic narcissist one that's constantly looking for something else and constantly thinking she deserves better and constantly unhappy. If you had a good man before you got on social media, he's probably still a good man. Don't let them sabotage your relationship just because that's what they did to theirs.
Okay, wow, I have to say, I pretty much agreed with every single thing that she said, and honestly, this is such an important conversation that just doesn't get talked about enough. First off, I want to acknowledge the obvious here. Marriage and long-term relationships are not perfect, right? You're going to have disagreements, frustrations, moments where you might not see eye to eye, like taking your kids to McDonald's, right? That's normal. But what she pointed out so well is how social media has created this culture where even the smallest frustrations are treated like these massive red flags. Like the little story that she mentioned, a husband taking his kids to McDonald's suddenly becomes proof that he doesn't respect his wife, or worse, that he's toxic or narcissistic. That is such an extreme and
I want y'all to pay attention to something while listening to this woman right here. Look at that right there. That's a rock on her finger. That's a ring finger. That's a big rock too. She got a big rock on her finger. You know what I'm saying? So if any woman is out there and wants to get married and be in a marriage, you want to take advice from a shorty that's married, not from a shorty that's divorced. What, you want to follow in her footsteps? You want to be divorced too? So you gotta, like, you know what? I'm rocking with her. She, you know what I'm saying?
fair leap for something that we know zero other details about. Like, that's crazy. We are always jumping to the worst conclusions and the most extreme labels for everything. It has become so exhausting. Let me know if you feel that way too, but every time I see this, I'm just like, please, can we stop? And here's the bigger issue. When you spend enough time online, you start to absorb this unrealistic picture of what a perfect partner, a perfect husband should look like.
Facts.
It's like there's this checklist floating around on TikTok and Instagram of what a good husband or boyfriend must do. And if your partner isn't buying you these giant bouquets of flowers for every single little holiday, writing you love letters,
I could tell y'all there ain't no such thing as a perfect boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, if your boyfriend buys you flowers and does all this stuff for you, this, that, and that, and that, and that, there's a downside somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a downside. Nobody's perfect. You ain't finding no Prince Charming. You know what I mean? That doesn't exist at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? You might find somebody that's perfect for you. You know, their red flags or things that other people won't like, you do like. So, you know, that's always nice. But for the most part, people aren't perfect. You can't find nobody that's perfect. And if you want to find somebody that's perfect, good luck, nigga. Good luck. Keep at it. You gonna have a real crazy life. You know what I'm saying? Trying to find a perfect human being. Because there ain't no such thing as a perfect human being, brother or sister. You know what I mean?
little notes around the house, taking you on expensive vacations every month, or whatever the latest trend is, then the internet convinces you that you are with a loser, or that he doesn't care about you, that you're not his dream girl, and that you can do so much better. And that is ridiculous. Real love is not about these flashy grand gestures all of the time. It's about consistency, effort, and the little things that you do every single day. I think this online culture also is really setting women up for constant disappointment, because instead of appreciating the good man that they already have, they're being trained to look for the flaws and compare him to some highlight reel of strangers on social media. And if you're always looking for what's missing instead of what's already there, you will never be satisfied. I think we have completely lost sight of what it means to have gratitude, and to be thankful for the things that you do have in your life instead of always focusing on the things that you don't have. I think social media has created a problem even bigger than just relationships. Too many people are always focused on what they don't have instead of what they do. And I think it's a huge reason why so many people are deeply unhappy and constantly disappointed. And I want to get a little personal for a second, which I try not to do, but I can speak from experience on this, so I feel like it's important to share. I would consider myself a pretty level-headed and logical person, but back when my husband and I were just dating, I started listening to the Call Her Daddy podcast at work.
That's like, I guess like the equivalent of like that podcast is probably like some Fresh and Fit type shit. Maybe. I don't know if a dude listening to Fresh and Fit or Andrew Tate is as destructive as a woman listening to like a call me daddy podcast, or one of those real like feminist podcasts, because they like, usually when it comes to podcasts for men, it's about bettering themselves as men and focusing on yourself and just getting shit together. But for women, a lot of those podcasts, they're like why you should hate men. You know what I mean? Or what your man is doing wrong. Or if he's not doing this, he hates you. Or if it da 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 da. So, yeah.
Just to pass the time with my headphones in, as so many people were doing. And let me tell you, that podcast made me feel absolutely insane. I would leave work feeling so insecure and suspicious. They would constantly say things like, if he's doing this, he's cheating. All men cheat. Don't trust anything he says. Snoop through his phone while he's
Oh
sleeping.
my God.
The list goes on. That's just scratching the surface. And before I knew it, all those little seeds of doubt that I was listening to consistently were planted in my head. I found myself questioning everything for absolutely no reason at all. It was so unhealthy and so damaging, and I'm not proud to admit that, but I share it because it shows how easily it can happen, even to people who think that they're above being influenced. Ultimately, I recognized that the content was making me feel like a crazy person, and I stopped listening. But I know so many women who are still being affected by things like this every single day, whether it's through podcasts, TikToks, or quick hit videos that just pop up on your timeline and plant those same doubts and insecurities.
Yeah, see, that's one of the biggest things that causes the problems with, I would say, women. Insecurity, like, insecurity in men shows itself differently than insecurity in women. For the most part, there's some dudes that are just fucking retarded. Dang, I probably shouldn't have said that word, huh? Hopefully they don't hit me for that. But there's just some dudes that, what I mean? But it's kind of like for men, it's like, oh, I'm insecure. I need to better myself. You know what I mean? For women, it's, oh, I'm insecure. Let me get on bro's ass. Or let me, tell him, you hate me. You don't love me. Let me cry. Let me this. You know what I'm saying? So insecurity for men just shows itself a little differently, because if a man is insecure, he got a shorty, what he does is he tries to make himself better. You know what I mean? For the most part. But for women, I feel like it can show itself in a lot of different ways that are not healthy for your relationship. Like walking down the street. Oh, you saw that girl? Oh, you saw that girl? You're looking at her? Like shit like that can really ruin your relationship if, it's constantly like, attacking your partner for things that, are just random, or you don't even know that he's doing, or you're assuming that he's doing and things of that nature, because it almost like gets to a point, it's like, if you think I am, I might as well. You know what I mean? That's one of the things that is kind of like, which, man, I don't truly believe that. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I feel like that's what girls do more often than men. But anyway, you get what I'm saying.
I know she touched on this a little bit in the video, but this is why I always say be mindful about what you are consuming, because whether you realize it or not, it is shaping how you see your significant other and your relationship. So find positive people to follow who don't make you feel like a crazy person. And we cannot forget that misery loves company. A lot of the voices encouraging women to leave their marriages or telling them that all men are trash are coming from women who are single or divorced themselves. And look, some of those women may have had very real, very painful experiences. The same exact thing happens with men online, by the way. I see it firsthand all of the time. These men who are single, divorced, or bitter, or all of the above, getting online telling men horrific things about women that just aren't true. You can't slap a label on every single person in the world and say that it's true, but I see it all the time. So I don't want you to think this just happens with women, it happens with men too. But what often happens is that bitterness gets projected onto everyone else. Instead of saying, hey, I had a bad experience, but maybe yours is different, it becomes, well, if my relationship didn't work, neither should yours. If my wife or husband did this, then yours is doing it too. And this cycle is so damaging because, one, it keeps people single, it fuels resentment between men and women, and it pushes people away from working through the normal ups and downs of a relationship. And going back to what she said in the video, you have to be careful about who you're getting advice from online. Not only do you not know these people personally, but they also don't have the full context of your relationship. They're only seeing one side of a story, and that's whatever you choose to share. And anyone can spin a narrative that makes their partner look bad if they want to. So if you're coming to the internet to seek advice and you're basing decisions about your marriage or relationship on comments from strangers who don't know you, don't know your husband, and don't have the full picture, you are setting yourself up for disaster. In fact, I would go as far as to say that you shouldn't even be posting about your marriage or relationship online to begin with. I've talked about this in past videos before. It's something that I feel strongly about and I stand by, but I think the second that you open that door and invite other people's opinions in, you're basically handing them the power to influence how you feel about your own significant other. And I think it's a huge mistake that people should absolutely stop doing. Marriage should be between you and your spouse. If you're in a relationship, you and your significant other, not you, your spouse, and the random people on Reddit or TikTok giving you unsolicited advice. It's really strange to me. And like she said, at the end of the day, if you had a good man before you got on social media, he's probably still a good man. Don't let these toxic online messages convince you otherwise. And the same thing goes for you guys that are watching. And don't let perfect, or this internet version of perfect, become the enemy of good. Relationships don't need to look like this perfect fairy tale in order to be strong and healthy. So my overall takeaway from this is protect your relationship from outside noise. Work through your frustrations with your partner directly instead of crowdsourcing advice from strangers on the internet. Do not buy into the idea that the grass is always greener, because most of the time it's not. And be careful about the content you're consuming, because the voices that you listen to the most will absolutely shape how you see your relationship. I thought her video was spot on, and I really wanted more people to hear it. I hope that women watch this video too. I think this applies to both men and women. I think, the same exact things are happening with men online as well. It's become a huge issue on both sides of the equation. And I know we say, women are keeping other women single, or social media wants you to leave your man. But the reality is you are in control of the content that you're consuming, the advice that you're asking for, the people that you're talking to, whether it be, the people in your circle or strangers on the internet. You are in control of the things that you are watching and the things and people that you are interacting with. So I think to set yourself up for success, it's best to just remove those things that are negative influences and making you view your relationship in an unhealthy way, or making you become a little bit unhealthy and toxic, as she said in the video. I think we also have...
This was a great video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if nobody told you today, I love you. Peace.